All right, everyone, welcome. This is ESL One Hamburg 2017. This is the CIS closed qualifiers, Team Effect versus Spartak Esports. I'm your caster, Moxie. I'm joined with the wonderful Forged Dota today as my co-caster, and this is looking like we're going to have some great Dota today. I'm really excited.
This is going to be a great series between these two teams. Really looking forward to seeing what kind of drafts are going to come out and where they're going to aim to go. Whether we're going to see some of the more split pushy things or that classic CIS run E Dota.
Now, it looks like I have an error on my screen because I can't see anything on the side of the dire. So, guys, I'm going to actually reconnect to the game here. So, give me 1 second, Forge. Why don't you keep telling us about what's going on here with the draft?
Yeah, so looks like we've got some pretty typical bans coming out right now. We've got Nature's Prophet getting banned out on the side of Effect, as well as on the other side, we've got Night Stalker and Venomancer getting banned out. A lot of really pesky, annoying heroes in the meta right now. Venomancer, of course, some being called, some calling it OP, just impossible to lane against, really flexible pick as well. Can be played just about any position, except really the hard 5. Night Stalker, really effective roamer in the early game, and just denying that vision against your enemy, always really good. On the flip side, the Nature's Prophet and the Enchantress ban actually going to come out for effect.
All right, well, we are back in now, and looks like we're going to see some pretty standard stuff here for the current meta, and of course, CIS Dota. We've got the Ancient Apparition pickup, who's been very heavily favored lately, and of course, the Faceless Void Earthshaker. And I'm really excited, actually, because I actually cast Team Effect like a couple days ago for World Cyber Arena, and King R is just a fantastic Earthshaker. He's so good at his positioning. I've seen him, and actually the Faceless Void was on the other team, but I've watched him just be perfect with his positioning, canceling out, when people are going after his Faceless Void, or in some cases, the actual other Faceless Void on the other team. So really looking forward to seeing him play that. But the Necrophos pickup here as well. This has been, Trent and I have been joking about this. This has been the patch of the gross green dudes. As you can see, Venomancer was already taken out. We've got the Necrophos pickup. All we need now is a Viper and a Pugna, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that'll round out the gross green dudes for sure. But I really like what Spartak have done here. They grab the Ancient Apparition first so that they can secure their Necrophos pick, because of course the Ancient Apparition ulti denies the regen. So now you don't have to worry about denying it, as well as it's just a pretty solid hero. Combining, you get the Ice Vortex, amplifying the Reaper Scythe and the Death Pulse damage from the Necro. Really nice combo, as well as securing that they don't get countered out by the Ancient Apparition.
This guy is just such a menace right now in the scene. Like, Necrophos, he can just sit there and lane, heal himself, get double the amount of, mana and heal. He can just, go and deny the creeps as well. Like, this guy is just the power MVP of this current patch, I feel. Ugh, I hate him.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to hit with the nerf hammer pretty hard, but in the meantime, he's definitely been a nuisance both in the pro and the pub scene.
Well, I mean, we've got another month of him to go, so hope you guys like seeing Necro, or at least playing Necro in your pubs, being the cancer, I guess. Skywrath Mage pickup, though, pretty nice wombo combo, of course, with the Faceless Void Chronosphere, and an excellent lane support, being able to just spam those arcane bolts. Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah, it's definitely a really good hero, but it's also become a lot more prevalent with the rise of Necrophos. You'll see heroes like Skywrath come up on the rise of that, because a lot of Necro's survivability comes from his Ghost Shroud, turning ethereal, can't take any physical damage, but Skywrath doesn't care. To him, that's just bonus damage. You drop an ulti on top of a Necro, you get the concussive shot, he's a lot slower. So, and the silence as well being really effective. No Reapers, no Death Pulse, a lot harder to sustain that damage and those heals in these longer team fights. So Skywrath, actually a pretty good pick against the Necrophos as well.
Now, do we see something like a Nyx Assassin come out of Spartak here? Just to constantly plague the Skywrath Mage?
It's certainly possible. It would definitely be good against the Skywrath, but it is... it's a little bit worse, I would say, against the Void, because unless you have the guaranteed lockdown immediate follow-up from the Necrophos, then he's just going to time walk off a lot of the damage that you get from the Vendetta hit or from the stun, he's just going to time walk away. So unless you have the guaranteed follow-up, it's going to be a little bit tougher against the Void, and we don't yet know if this is going to be an off lane or a safe lane Void, so you don't want to dedicate.
It's probably going to be a safe lane Void, if I would have to guess. Like, we're not seeing him being played in the off lane much at all anymore. And there's a mid Mirana coming out here as well.
Yeah, another one of the big picks that's coming out of the meta right now is that mid Mirana. Less so that magic damage burst that we saw, popularized earlier in the year. It's much more focused on the physical damage and the scaling, Manta Diffusal, SNY, even sometimes just an early Maelstrom with bots, farm up really fast, really effectively. So pretty solid pickup from Effect, and I'm liking the way their draft is shaping up. They have a lot of independent pickoff, as well as some really nice wombo combo, like you mentioned, with their Shaker, the Void, Skywrath dropping stuff on top. They have a lot of really varied opportunities for kill potential.
Yeah, I'm liking this Kunkka pickup as well. As long as, the positioning's really, really good coming out from the side of Spartak, they should be able to counter-initiate using that boat. The rum buff, of course, helping out quite a bit, and just kind of disrupting the general flow of things. But it feels like it's going to come down to who can jump on each other first. But we get a Terrorblade pickup. All right, there's our building damage.
Yeah, that's your nice, safe building hitter. It is a little curious seeing it picked up into the Shaker, which some would consider the counter. But if he is able to survive through the Echo Slam and through the chain stuns, then obviously Sunder leads to a lot of ability for counterplay. And with the rum buff coming out, that does make it a little bit more viable for him to survive through that initial burst.
Definitely a nice pickup. It's also just a really great kind of roaming support. Plus the X marks the spot, coupled with the ice, what's it called? Chilling Vortex and Cold Feet will be able to really be very scary for whoever's going to be here in this offlane, whether it's the Shaker. I know that King R likes to play the Shaker as a roaming position so I don't know necessarily if he's going to be placed in the offlane, but they do have a lot of room to wiggle around here with this draft. So we will see.
Yeah, the whoever's in that off lane, whether it be the Void, the Shaker, or some other pick, if they're leaving that for last, definitely going to have a tough time. Kunkka plus Ancient Apparition, really dangerous. Terrorblade damage on top. And even just the roaming potential. Anytime those two supports are off the map, you don't know if they're making stacks, if they're roaming on you, or if they're just playing mind games and just sitting behind and sapping XP. Very, very powerful support duo.
Oh, that's the best when you get to play mind games with the other team. Like, where are they? Are they in my lane? Am I going to die? But we do see the Nyx Assassin did get banned out, so definitely don't want that run around the back lines interrupting things. Something to remember too is I believe Effect has run a Silencer position 5 before, which might be something interesting here, where you initiate with the Faceless Void, getting off that Chronosphere, and then follow up with the Silence. But, oh boy, I guess they were thinking they were going to Brood Mama them. That has been banned out. There will be no spooky spiders in this game.
Yeah, they don't really have a great way to deal with it. It's pretty much just like Necrophos Death Pulse spam, and that's not really a reliable way to deal with spiders. And the hero is definitely back in the meta enough that you don't want to risk getting cheesed by that.
The best way to deal with spiders is just fire. Fire Forge, just a cleansing fire. I don't want to deal with spiders.
If there's a spider in the house, Moxie, do you burn that house down?
No comment. No comment. There he is, though. There's the sandiest of kings coming at you. It's a lot of pressure being put on this Terrorblade to make sure he can hit these towers. My goodness.
Yeah, it is nice, though, because it rounds out their draft in terms of initiation. They had a lot of great catch potential. They had a lot of great follow-up damage with the, Ice Blast as well as the Reaper Scythe, but they didn't really have a great way to start off the fight. So now you get that Blink Dagger on the Sand King. You have a really reliable way to blink, stun. You follow up with the Kunkka X marks. You follow up with the Reaper Scythe, and you're able to consistently get those pickoffs, start those team fights.
Man, dirty. They pick up a Zeus here for Mag, which means that Necrophos just does not, you're used to seeing Necrophoses in your game where they're like, you can't hit me anymore. I've got my Ghost Shroud up. But there is just a lot of magic damage coming out from Team Effect that says, nope, we are going to kill you. We are tired of seeing Necrophoses in our games. It's done. Eta gege.
Eta gege is right.
Eto,
And
Eto gege.
this is one of the interesting things about the meta is you have a hero like Necrophos around for so long. He's been plaguing, you know, teams since TI, and now it's been so long that you start to see these counters like the Zeus, like the Skywrath start to kind of show their faces again as ways to deal with these heroes. Really interesting the way that Dota can evolve like that. And also, it's just really good against the Terrorblade. It's a really good way to clear out the illusions. Static Field does a lot against Terrorblade, both in the early and even scaling into the later game because it's percentage-based damage. So Zeus actually just a pretty good pickup here overall. Good vision hero with the Nimbus as well.
Oh, they just swapped. Spartak decided that they wanted Yoki over on the Sand King instead of the Kunkka here. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Just noticed Kunkka's hat's changed. She didn't look like a vampire hunter anymore, so.
Yeah, so
So
that
it's
means
not
they're
gonna
going
be
to
a Mirana mid.
throw...
Is it?
It looks like it's
is.
going to be Mirana mid, safe lane Void, I believe. And yeah, safe lane Void. Sadoy going right out with the extra tangos. He doesn't want to deal with the death pulse. BZZ, well, he wanted to. Is VCZ going offlane? Is that what's happening here? No, BZZ is going to be going mid with the Necrophos. Looks like they're going to go for an aggressive tri-lane with the Terrorblade and the Kunkka and the Ancient Apparition against Sadoy.
I'm surprised they're not trying to go for any sort of like first blood here with Alpha Ninja and of course King R. You know, pretty strong if they can land that arrow early on, coupled with some Zeus nukes. But Zeus nukes, that sounds like just something out of Dr. Seuss, honestly.
Are you trying to make a little rhyme scheme?
Or like some sort of candy bar or something like fast food. Like get yourself some Zeus nukes today. Sell out, boys.
Yeah, it's looking to, they want to do an offlane Zeus, and they want to try and match it up against the Terrorblade, which is why you see this aggressive tri-lane coming out from Spartak. They want the Terrorblade as far away from this offlane Zeus as they can. It's going to be, like you said, the support shaker, King R, and they're trying to keep the Zeus as far away from the Terrorblade as they can.
Sadoy already popping that taunt, just says like, yeah, I see you. You're not gonna kill me. You may take my rune, but wait until I get my farm. Won't be laughing then.
3 runes going the side of Spartak.
It's like King R coming out over here to mid is not actually going to throw the fissure out to block. We'll just throw his body at them instead. And we do see that Kunkka and Earthshaker are going to run face to face here.
So I was right. It's actually going to be the offlane BZZ Necro, and it's going to be the mid lane Terrorblade instead. And they're going to throw Sand King up top against the Zeus.
Now, where do you think we will see the first blood here? Because
it's going to be in this bottom lane. Tri-lane on tri-lane, I can almost guarantee it's going to be in this bottom lane. It's a question of who gets that first blood, I think.
I mean, they're pretty squishy over here. It's going to be pretty hard to take down this this Void. Just because he can time walk off damage, but we do see a little action coming out here mid. The fissure came in, but it actually put Terrorblade over on the other side. Torrent comes out though. Alpha Ninja in a little bit of trouble. Doesn't look like he's gonna get taken down here at all, but already we're seeing the battle of the mids. Nice fissure coming out though. Uh-oh, Terrorblade in a little bit of trouble. Mirana, she doesn't have the Starstorm. She's got the arrow instead, and she just can't get a clear arrow over here. Couple more clicks coming out over here onto Kunkka. But just, you know, a little game of booping each other on the nose, I guess, going on here mid.
Yeah, it's so tough to go for those kills without Starfall just yet, because Terrorblade has such ridiculous armor. He's got 12 armor under tower. Like, you can't pressure that without magic damage, which is why they threw this matchup there. So if he was against the Zeus, much different story.
Man, Sadoy knew that he was just going to get really heavily harassed down here. He picked up like 8 tangos, I think, and already look at this damage coming out here from Misha and BZZ.
Throws out the taunt, but yeah, he is going to have a tough time. Melee cores against Necrophos suffers just so much, and we already see the full wand completed for BZZ as well. With Ghost Shroud, this is like one of the most overpowered items in the game because it's basically a cheese in the early game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You think that you're getting him low enough, and then he just pops that Ghost Shroud. Cold Feet coming out here with the chilling hands. Chilly touch, as we call it. We call it chilly hands in my game, so.
Oh, okay.
Although I'm sure chat will be like, what? Lol, but.
So a little bit of harass coming out on the Terrorblade now. They're going to rotate the Skywrath over for that consistent magic damage, which is, again, what you want against the Terrorblade. He's got really good armor, but he's got terrible starting health. He starts the game with like 500 health, and now that he's level 3, he's got 560.
Well, I mean, if they're going to just keep keeping, if they consistently keep 2 heroes in the lane anyways, there's no reason for Effect not to send over the Skywrath Mage just to spam and whatnot, because, you know, this guy needs a good start. Terrorblade's one of those heroes that doesn't really have a great comeback mechanism, I guess. So babysitting him early on is very, very important. But at the same time, you know, looking down here at our Faceless Wood, he is not having a great time either. His CS is abysmal. It's 7-1 right now.
Yeah, it's tough. And with chilling touch and lead coming out, it's just so much consistent damage that.
Oh, Misha, he should be able to get himself out. Just gonna TP. Doesn't want to be stuck on the other side of that fissure, and it looks like BZZ should be able to get himself out as well. So we're almost 4 minutes now with no first play. Oh, as I say that, over in mid we see that Alpha Ninja is able to get taken down with some help from the Kunkka X Marks.
Yeah, level 2 meta online. You get the 1 reflection for a little bit of bonus damage and some nice slow for the setup. Pretty tough for Mirana to deal with. Would deal with that once she gets vexed.
Let's go check in with our top lane here. Looks like, oh, Mag in a lot of trouble here. Yoki, he's looking, those procs coming out here. 1 more hit. Yoki will be able to take down the mighty Thunder God.
Man, you said tune into top right as there was some action going on. You must be, you got some psychic sense going on there, Moxie?
I mean, I T-tours the mid kill, so I'd like to say yes, but chat will know I'm lying.
The caustic slow there has secured that kill for Yoku. Pretty nice getting the solo kill against the Zeus. Not a matchup you see a whole lot, so can't really say which way this would be favored, but I can't imagine it being easy for Yoku to do that. I'm a little impressed that he was able to secure that kill on the Thunder God.
Now we do see some pincering action coming in from both sides. The Kunkka getting into position behind Alpha Ninja here, and of course King R hiding behind the tower. I'm not sure they're aware of it, although now that he's rocked right by that ward, they will be able to spot him out. But top lane again, they're making their way up here. Mag, he's frantically trying to fight his way out. Does he? Yeah, he's trying to go for the deny. He gets it. Look at that stack. These neutral creeps. They love Zeus, apparently.
That is
making it work.
Absolutely massive stack that's going to get Sand King his.
Oh, Sand King, yeah.
Early. But interestingly enough, he's actually not going right for it. He's opting to go for the hood first to help deal with the amount of magic damage that Effect have. Really like this decision, just to secures him some early viability.
Oh, the Sunder comes out over onto Alpha Ninja, and it was really, really close there. He was able to just squeak through doing that leap because the fissure had him on the wrong side of the track.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was talking about during the draft. If you can't burst him down to 0, it's actually kind of hard to kill the Terrorblade without... The Zeus last pick definitely helps, but without that immediate burst damage, it's really tough to kill the Terrorblade before he Sunders. At least until he gets Chronosphere. Once he gets Chronosphere, it's a different story. And actually, another hood gonna get picked up by Necrophos. So it looks like we might see either double hood or potentially even later on double pipe coming out from Spartak.
How do you kill this Necrophos then too? Like, it makes sense that he's going to want a hood because of all the magic damage that's coming out from the side of Effect here. You've got, you know, the nukes coming out from Zeus. You've got the damage coming out from the Skywrath Mage on top of that. Like, he needs something to kind of back himself up. Otherwise, every time he uses Ghost Shroud, he's in a world of hurt.
Really kind of double-edged sword, which is why they picked up as much magic damage as they did. But with this kind of start, 39 and 13 now at 7 minutes, and it's going to be really hard for them to kill him, even with the amount of magic damage they have. He's got 1, he's got almost a full pipe, or almost a full hood, and they're going to really have to make heavy rotations to kind of kill that off. Once Chronosphere and once Mystic Flare comes online for the Skywrath, maybe a different story. But until then, he just kind of gets to do whatever he wants.
Poor Yoki, they're trying to take a stack over here. We did see a lot of pin swing out. They know that it's there. They know that they don't want to let Yoki take that, but at the same time, they're playing very, very cautiously. Yeah, in fact, we see Maggie comes around the corner, just trying to do a little bit of damage over here with King Art. Like, they can't take this whole stack by themselves. Like, this needs to be a full team effort, but they need to be very careful because, you know, Yoki standing nearby here. You've got Kunkka as well.
Yeah, they're looking for another kill onto Mags. Probably gonna, I would say they might dive deep in this one. The stun from Yoku and then follow up from the Kunkka could be kind of scary. By kind of scary, I mean pretty terrifying. Zeus is a squishy hero. He wants to sit back, fire off his spells, and just kind of get left alone. So when you have these gap closers like Sand King, it makes the game tough.
Oh, the leap forward coming out for Alpha Ninja. Will be able to land the arrow. Silence coming out. There's the nuke from Zeus. One more hit, and King R gonna be able to help out with this gank, and Alpha Ninja gets the kill with that double damage.
And there's the answer to we can't burst him fast enough. Just silence him. He can't sunder if he can't cast spells.
Mag in a little bit of trouble, though, here in the top lane. The Torrent comes out with the X, but there's immediate follow-up coming out from Arzik here, so... Concussive shot thrown out. We'll slow him down, push him back, and tell him, stay away from my my teammate.
They really don't want Yoki getting the stack. Like, they really, really don't want that stack getting taken.
It's a huge stack. Like, the problem is they don't really have anyone who can take it, though, on their team. Like, it really needs to be, like, a full team effort. Unless Shaker wants to use, like, Dunk or something. But look at this. Yoki just... It's like, no, my stack.
He actually got most of those last hits because the fissure came out, but you don't actually get the damage from Burrow Strike until they come back down. And so the fissure came up when they were still in the air, and then they all landed. And Yoki was just like, thanks for the assist, bro.
TP coming in here from the Void. He does have the Chronosphere, but he doesn't quite have any sort of damage to really help him out and deal with this. And it looks like they know about it because they're being very, very aggressive. They're just pushing these creeps onto the tower. We're seeing the rotation come out now from the supports, though. King R and Arzik making this pinstring movement towards the bot lane. Looks like they're going to back off. They don't want to have to deal with this right now.
Yeah, and the one thing I didn't actually notice about the Necrophos that's really, really annoying for this Void is he actually grabbed an Orb of Venom. It's not good for the slow if they're range. It's only a 4% slow, but that's a consistent 15 damage, magic damage. Every time you right click, that's 15 magic damage, 15 magic damage. Over the course of a laning phase, that really adds up. Throw Heartstopper on top of that, how does this Void stay in this lane and get any kind of fun? He's got 30 last hits at 10 minutes.
I mean, this is awful. Yeah, if you look at his net worth right now, it is 2K, 2.1K technically, but already we're seeing more movement come down here. They're going to try to put more pressure onto him and really just not allow him to get any sort of farm or really experience. Like, he's suffering pretty bad right now.
The amount of hoods on this team is crazy. That's one for the Necro. The Terrorblade has one as well. There's one on the Sand team. There's so many hoods on this team.
It's a lot of magic damage that they're pumping out here. Marana, okay, over to the top lane. There's the X. There's the the kill over onto Sand King. Can they get another kill here? Looks like Kunkka gonna try to hide himself between the tower. Marana trying to bottle herself through it. Will be able to go ahead, land the arrow. See BZZ coming up top though. He's looking over here over at Alpha Ninja. Does get the scythe off in time. Will be able to punish him for that dive. King R just gonna try to run himself out. Arzik should be absolutely fine. But yeah, that arrow, oof. Bottom lane here too, we see Meta's been popped over here on a Terrorblade. They're gonna come forward Sadoy. Oh, he misses! He misses the Terrorblade! There's gonna be a nice fissure coming up here, followed by a Ice Blast. Now Mag having to hide himself through the trees. That was a beautiful Sunder coming out now, and they will be able to get the tower.
That's
that's a feels bad man for Sadoy, and very nice play coming out here from our Terrorblade.
That sidestep at the absolute last second was amazing. Like,
ankles broken.
You talk about jukes, that was jukes, and it's
yeah,
not
he got
Sadoy's
jukes on
fault.
jukes on jukes, man.
He's just trying to get the Chronosphere out as quickly as possible, but slightly mispositions and ends up costing him the tower.
Can we talk about how Yoki is at the top of the net worth and he has his Blink Dagger? He's got a full hood and a Blink Dagger at 12 minutes.
Yeah, this is a very, very farm sand.
He is the king of this game right now.
I see what you did there.
Ha ha! in before, never asked to cast again. Mid lane, though, looks like our Zeus in a lot of trouble here. Mag trying to get himself out, but the boat with the Ice Blast, the Torrent, the whole kit and caboodle used on him here in mid.
And that was without Blink Dagger. Those initiations, those pickoffs are just going to come more and more frequently now. Every time Ice Blast is on cooldown, every time Ghost Ship's on cooldown, you're going to see a very similar story, whether that be on the Faceless Void, on the Mirana, whoever it might be. With Sand King Blink Dagger online this early, and you have 2 supports with very low cooldown ultimates, you're going to be seeing this a lot.
Now they have vision over here on King R as he moves himself around the shrine, and it looks like Yoki really wants to show off this Blink Dagger. This is a huge reveal for them, because if you can get off this Epi coupled with just a couple other spells. Yeah, here's the Ice Blast. Oh, this is beautiful. They cancel it out, though. They saw him over onto the side. He's not going to be able to blink in. Looks like Skywrath Mage having a little bit of an issue here, but should be able to walk it off. That ward, MVP over here, Forge.
That's a freshly placed ward, too.
That ward just canceled out Yoki's epicenter, or rather the blink and the epicenter. Like, that was
such a good bait too. They were playing like
that was, yeah, what a debate.
Just like, oh man, we don't know where this sinking is, we should be scared. Meanwhile, they have eyes on him the whole time. He calls for the AA blast from base.
That was a beautiful AA blast too. It caught 2 of them.
Just the 2? I thought it caught the 3, but either way, yeah, just completely disrupted by that. Great play from Effect. And these are the kind of plays that they're going to have to make. Just completely disrupted.
Uh-oh, Yoki gets caught in the Chronosphere with a Mystic Flare, with a Zeus ulti. He's still, look how tanky this guy is. That hood just saving him. Can he get himself out? Oh my gosh. Yep, there goes Yoki. That's why he has a hood, Forge.
Yeah, the early game hood.
So tanky, they just can't take him down. Like, that's supposed to be a guaranteed kill, right? Every time, early game. Granted, we're moving towards the mid game now, but still.
I mean, it's 15 minutes in. I think you can still save it early.
Oh, nice fissure coming out here, followed up by the arrow coming out. Nice dunk. They really just wanted to kill BZZ there, and they will succeed. Now it looks like Misha in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to try to slow them down a bit. Mirana just very, very speedy right now, but she doesn't have the leap. And Misha makes a good call and says, I am going home. I don't want nothing to do with this. Meta gets popped, though, over in mid. Terrorblade, he's going to go to work on this tower. They know that Chrono isn't up, and he's feeling really good right now, especially knowing that the Earthshaker Echo Slam is down.
Scouting ulti from the AA.
Pinsering coming out, though.
Moonlight Shadow has been popped.
Half a ninja. He's looking for an opening, but not going to be able to quite get it with all those illusions in the way.
And this is how you want to play with the Terrorblade draft, right? You have every time meta's off cooldown, you want to be pushing a tower, pressuring something, taking objectives, forcing fights, and they're doing it pretty consistently. They've got the Morbid Mask up. They're actually going to go for a Mask of Madness on the Terrorblade, which is kind of interesting in theory because they don't really have a lot of physical damage, so you don't have to worry about minus armor. But it's also silencing yourself for 8 seconds. I suppose as long as you pop it, as long as you're careful with when you pop it, and you get your Sunder off first.
Yoki getting a little up close and personal here with Mag. Gonna force him back. There's a torrent coming out though. It doesn't quite connect over onto the Zeus. They really wanted to go after this. Oh, the arrow comes in. It lands onto Misha. Misha's just obliterated with all the particle effects coming out of this game. But nice turnaround there. I don't think he was quite noticing that arrow was flying out. We do have the Kunkka standing nearby though. He's hiding out in the trees. They're thinking about setting something up. They do have, of course, Yoki's got the uppy. He's channeling it up, jumps forward, goes after Alpha Ninja. Can't exactly find him though here in the trees. Arrow comes out, does not connect. Bow comes out though over onto our Zeus here in the corner. A little bit more damage coming out. There's a nice fissure coming out from King R. King R, he finds him. He goes in, goes for this kill, but there's going to be Yoki. Yoki jumps into the corner. He wants this kill over onto the Kunkka. Followed up with a scythe. Not quite enough damage coming out from BZZ right away, but he will get the kill. And now Sadoy, he's got this Chronosphere, but he just doesn't have the damage yet. Now he's got to run himself out. He's silenced up because of that Mask of Madness. Will be able to go ahead, do the Q, time dilation coming out as well. There's Yoki though jumping forward. Will be able to help take down the mighty Sadoy. Oh my gosh. What a beautiful, like, crazy chaotic fight. I love it.
Yeah, BZZ just kind of farming up the bot lane, waiting very patiently for his team to call for backup, and then once the Mirana kind of lives a little bit longer than I think they were expecting, he's like, okay, I'll TP up, I'll rotate. But I think if they got that Mirana kill, he probably just happily pushes that bottom tile. But nice rotations to secure the kill on the Earthshaker as well as the Void. And they're delaying this Earthshaker Blink Dagger. Actually, no, he does have it now. Did he have that for the last fight?
The Blink Dagger?
He has it.
I believe he must have finished it up just recently. I know Sand King's had it for quite a while. There's a jump forward, though, again from Yoki. We'll be able to find Sidoi. However, they do find the Terrorblade over onto the side, but they're still going to be able to get the kill over onto Ancient Apparition. They will take down the Terrorblade now. Moonlight Shadow coming into effect will be able to take down yet another hero. Necrophos will fall. So nice turnaround coming out from effect and seeing their opening. That double damage on Mirana sure helped, too.
Yeah, always a nice find on your cores, especially when Mirana decides to go the more current build of the physical damage. She's got the Yasha online already, moving into the Manta style, which will be nice against the amplified damage that they can deal out. Kind of split up those Terrorblade illusions, those Ancient Apparition blasts. Nice to get rid of the cold feet as well.
Ah, man, every time I see AAs, they're always so broke for the most part. I feel really bad. Like, look at this Ancient Apparition has brown boots, and he's got a ward, basically. The Hard Knock Life. That's pause 6, basically, when you're that poor at 18 minutes in.
He's got dreams. One day he'll get his Zags. I
Right?
believe in him. I believe in you, Misha. It's okay.
I'm watching this little Yoki here because he's been making a lot of plays, although sometimes they get the better of him and they realize that he's going in for the kill. Does spot out over here. King R is very forward. He has no help. There's a jump forward. We'll be able to stun him up, followed up with a torrent. Ice Blast on top of it. And Misha's not going to be that poor for much longer because although his life is just wards, if you look at his quick buy.
He knows his role. You really want the Kunkka getting the items. He's going to be working towards the drums. Probably an Aether Lens down the line for those those nice long-range catches on the X marks. So if Misha's like, I cast my ultimate every once in a while. I'll throw it a cold feet. He's okay with his lot in life.
I mean, he definitely helped in that bot lane when they were dealing with the Faceless Void because Void's still not even near the top of the net worth at all right now. It's been a very difficult game for him to deal with the Necrophos, plus, of course, the Ancient Apparition with that Chilling Touch. Just really, really dirty. They need one more hit over here onto the tower. Looks like our Terrorblade will be able to clean that up.
Yeah, they don't want to go quite in because Metamorphosis is still up, but with all their ultis online, I wouldn't be surprised to see Effect go in for a follow-up kill after this. Maybe if they get greedy and head for mid lane, they go for a follow-up kill. They've got Moonlight, they've got Chrono.
Get a full pipe up and running on Necro too. Like, this guy is just, you want to throw magic damage at me? Fine. We're just gonna, change our build a little bit and make it so you cannot murder me.
Sand King making his way towards a Yule Scepter to deal with that silence, and some extra mobility is never, ever going to hurt a Sand King. Curious to see if he goes for something like the Aghanim Scepter for some extra reach, maybe Lotus Orb to reflect some spells back. Always neat to see what Sand Kings go for, whether they go for some more long-range initiations with the eggs or some utility builds.
This Void just has no items. It makes me so sad. Poor Sidoi. It's not the position you want to be in as a position 1 Faceless Void. This is like the farm that you see on an off-lane Void right now, honestly.
Yeah, he got the Mask of Madness, hoping for some nice cheap damage. Some nice good attack speed, but without any follow-up damage items, it's really tough for him to get kills in the Chronosphere. We saw at top lane where he dropped the Chrono, he pops Mask of Madness, but just still not able to quite find that damage. Once Skywrath drops his ulti, Mirana, I think she was already running away on 10 HP at that point, so really, really tough game for the Faceless Void.
Oh, they guess that there's something going on over here in the woods, and they do land a little bit of that ice over onto the Mirana and the Earthshaker, but 3 heroes down here in the bot lane. They've already taken the tower for their tier 1. I'm not sure what the plan is here for Effect currently. This Terrorblade is just running away with the net worth now. He's at 10k net worth. The next closest on the side of Effect is Mirana. And then it goes right to the Necrophos and our Sand King.
So what they'll probably do is they'll farm up either the BKB or... Yeah, they'll probably farm up the BKB on the Terrorblade and then move down for a rotation. They might try and pressure now with Metamorphosis off cooldown, but I would imagine they want to wait for that first.
Yeah, Ninja's trying to find that angle here. Hood gets popped. He's expecting something. There's a jump forward, though, with the Chronosphere, followed up with the Zeus ulti, the Mystic Flare, but Yoki sees his opening. He's going to go in, and he's going to be able to grab that Faceless Void. Now Mirana on the run. Alpha Ninja is trying to just get himself out here. They don't have the stun, should be able to leave, but that was a fast turnaround. So they get the Terrorblade, but they also lose their Void. Chronosphere is now down.
I honestly think that that's kind of worth it for effect because they're behind, so trading 1 for 1, even though it sucks.
That's not, though. Unfortunately,
well,
there goes our Zeus.
Yeah, before that Zeus goes down, maybe it kind of worth it, but with the extra Zeus pick off, they're able to find the game kind of evens back into Spartak's favor. And BCC is actually going to go back now for the Radiance. Normally, if you're going to see the Radiance build, you're going to see it either like first or second item. You usually get the Veil or even that Hood that we saw right into the Radiance, but he opts to complete the full pipe. Oh, up top.
Yeah, he wants to. The pings are coming out here, but I'm not sure if he can quite find that opening. Plus, they don't know what's standing nearby. Ice Blast comes out, though. And Effect playing very, very patient over here.
Yeah, and Sedoy's had to change his item build now. He had the diffuse.
He's got the BKB, yeah. He's just getting blown up in these fights.
He needs the BKB to deal with all the magic damage and all the lockdown that Spartak has, but this is going to delay his damage even more now. Like, they need damage to pump into that Chronosphere, and basically what they're going to have to do every time is what we saw mid lane on the Terrorblade. You know, drop Mystic Flare, drop Echo Slam, I think was used. Zeus ulti, everything you can throw with that Chronosphere, you're going to have to, because Void isn't going to have the damage anytime soon.
King R's got to be really careful over here because there's a lot of movement coming down to the spot lane. Tower will go down though. BZZ will be able to force it, and I'm not sure they want to go forward on this right now on the side of Effect.
They're picking out like they want to. They're definitely thinking about it. Scouting vision. No.
When Light Shadow gets used, they know that there's quite a few people around here. There is a sentry ward placed down though. King R could be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, they see him immediately. Followed up with the Scythe, Cold Feet, and the Ice Blast. Misha actually getting that kill and is now living the dream with the Arcane Boots.
And Mirana thought about TPing down, immediately canceled her TP. She was like, oh, I'm going to TP to destroy it. You know what?
Yeah, not a good idea.
I see a Kunkka there. I'm not going to do that. Now, the one thing to notice is... Actually, hold on. Okay. The one thing that is going to notice, it's not a massive net worth differential. It's about 4K, but a lot of that gold net worth comes just from tower gold, right? If you look at the towers on Spartak, they've got still
Sadoy. They use the epicenter just for the Faceless Void. Will be able to follow up with the boat. He's able to go ahead, run away a little bit, throws up the Chronosphere, but he's still toast. He's taken down by the Necrophos of all places. Nice dunk coming out here on the back end. King R finds the opening. They'll be able to turn this back around, but now you've got the Terrorblade coming in here, and King R needs to be careful. He's going to get stunned up. Yeah, look at this. BKB coming out now. We'll be able to negate that last little bit of damage coming out from Skywrath Mage. Good timing on that, and he's going to be able to walk away with this after getting... I guess he didn't get that many kills, but...
That's a win. That's a
the desperation.
Win.
Oh, the arrow, the arrow!
Just
that was so close. That could have been so bad for him. Nice try coming out from Alpha Ninja.
So, despite this being a really, really sad Faceless Void with the farm, that was a really good fight for Effect. They traded like 2 for, I think, 3. The Terrorblade was forced to use his 10-second BKB without getting any kills or any objectives. They forced meta. And they did have to use a lot of ultimates, but that was like a 1,500 net worth swing in the favor of Effect. That was a really good trade for them. Despite the fact that Sadoy has not really been able to farm and get some nice big
He's
items.
still not in the top, like, 4 or 5 for net worth. This is like, you don't ever want to have to get the BKB, but like, he really, really needs it, but he's just suffering. He just doesn't have like any real damage here.
Yeah, if they're able to keep trades like that for him, he could kind of move into that like off lane kind of position, right? You pretend in your head that you had a mid lane Zeus and a safe lane Mirana, and it becomes the off lane for him. It sucks for Sadoy, but for his team, it's actually not too bad, because that still means that they're getting what they need out of the Void, which is those Chronospheres, those initiations. And they're still getting the damage. They're still scaling okay. And if they can keep trades like that up, like I was going to say before, if they can start taking those towers, we might see that 3k net worth advantage swing back in favor of Effect.
Oh man, BZZ's getting closer and closer to this Radiance. That is not going to be fun times here for our Skywrath or our Zeus here on the side of Effect. He's got his axe though, which is nice. So he's going to be able to stand back a little bit more and place out the Nimbus. But you know, it's actually such a close game in terms of kills though. Like, they're lacking towers obviously on the side of Effect, but
and even if you look at net worth, like,
oh, they spy a Sadoy. Sadoy in trouble here. Follow up with the boat, with the Reaper Scythe, with just everything in the kitchen sink. It's a very dead Void, and that's gonna put him back even further now.
Man, they are bullying him as hard as they can.
I mean, eyes on the prize, right? You know that that's the guy who sets up your team fights for you for the most part. Let's take him out. And even when he gets these Chronospheres off, they just don't have enough damage. Meta gets popped.
He doesn't have buybacks. He just finished BKB.
I mean, we've got the Earthshaker here has dunk. Oh, there's Yoki again coming in for the plays. We'll be able to immediately take out the Skywrath Mage. Nimbus comes out though, gonna turn their attention, try to take this down, but that's the end of the Metamorphosis, I think, very soon.
It's still got about half to reach.
Oh, I lied. I thought it turned into melee all of a sudden. I guess that's just...
Yeah, if you walk far enough away.
That must be... Yeah. Nice Fissure coming out here from King R. BKB comes out though from the Terrorblade. Will continue just turning around, hitting this tower. It's interesting that they're going in on this without opting to get themselves an Aegis first, but I guess they're feeling very, very confident. Looks like Yoki will be the sacrificial lamb here. They're trying everything to take him down, and they will finally get the kill over onto Sadoy.
That's another BKB charge used on the Terrorblade. As this gets lower and lower, this Zeus is going to hurt more and more. That 10-second BKB we saw was having to use very defensively, you know, just to keep him alive. 9-second BKB now, not able to really take another objective with that. They got a little bit of chip damage, or a fair bit of chip damage actually on the tier 3. It's about half HP, but immediate smoke up from Effect. We could see them punish this.
They're looking for Roche. Yeah, I was about to say, like, I'm really surprised that that Spartak didn't go for the Roche before going high ground. I mean, they know that they're in there now, obviously. They sent the Terrorblade Illusion.
Ice Blast still on cooldown for 20 seconds.
They've got boat. They've got boat. They've got quite a few things to throw in there. Unless Kunkka gets taken down first here. The X coming in, though, will be able to throw out the torrent. And that's about half gone here on Roche. Half of his life. Moonlight Shadow comes up again.
They really wanted to take that before Sand King came back online, because that's their initiation into the pit, right? Blink, Epicenter, Burrow Strike, all that good stuff. But now they're going to just move into what looks like either a tier 2 or hopefully a pickoff for them.
I mean, if they had picked off that Kunkka, that would have been a great Roche for them. But unfortunately, they just weren't able to dump out enough damage onto him, and Kunkka's going to be feeling pretty good about that. But they know that they want this Roche. Like, this is... Yeah, Ice Blast comes in. Now, that's kind of big. If they know that Ice Blast is down, they might feel a little more comfortable. Although, you got to watch out here. Yoki has just been on point with these epicenters, and I'm sure he will just run in there. If he, yeah, there's the scan. They know they're back in the pit. They're trying to get this done as fast as possible. They need to be very careful. Looks like Terrorblade, though. He's just going to go put some more damage on the tower and open up these shrines. There's the Earthshaker coming forward, though. They're able to take out Misha almost immediately. And a little bit more damage. They throw out the torrent into the pit. Alpha Ninja is like, come on, guys. We got to get this done. It's now or another. We're losing things in our base. We have to go ahead and we have to fort it. And the TP comes back actually from Max. There's the BKB coming out on Sadoy. First time showing up. That was a beautiful jump in here from Yoki, but we can't do anything. The Yoki steals the Aegis. Oh, that is not what Effect wanted at all. That is a Sand King who is cheeky, sassy, and after this Alpha Ninja here, looks like, wow, all right, so we got the tower, we got the melee barracks, but Mag was able to get the kill. There's a jump forward, though. He finds the Mirana. Alpha Ninja's in a lot of trouble here. They've got the X off on her. This might just be the end of her. Nope, she's got to be able to run herself out. And this Nimbus now, they've got to force it off. Silence coming out over here onto the Kunkka is going to try to run himself away. Does have backup here from Yoki. Will be able to turn it back around. Nice save coming out here. They'll be able to go use the Ghost Rock coming out here from Nekaro and just slowly roast the Skywrath Mage here. That is a roast chicken? I don't know. What would you call that?
That's probably a roast chicken.
Roast chicken?
Based on his taunt, which is probably one of the most obnoxious taunts in the game, I'm gonna say roast chicken. But yeah, while you were watching that team fight mid, I was watching the action on top, and basically the Terrorblade just kind of walked up, started sieging. Zeus threw out some spells, and then he's like, "Oh, that's right, I've just got a BKB." BKBs takes the racks, Earthshaker TPs back, and Echo Slams whole 9 yards, and even right before Terrorblade dies, is able to kill off the Earthshaker. The only reason he died there was just because the Zeus was able to live. And even he almost killed the Zeus, so really nice rat play coming out from Spartak while that fight going on in the Roche pit happens.
That's huge, though, now, because that opens up all these shrines here on the side of the Radiant. That's even more gold. That's more map control. And that makes it a lot easier when it comes time for the next Roche, because I really feel like the side of Spartak, they should really, you know, if they're going to go high ground, get themselves some sort of a pick-off first and then follow up with just taking Roche. Can you imagine if they had had the Aegis the first time they went for the push onto the high ground?
I mean, it would have been really good.
Yeah.
But this is a team I noticed that really likes doing things in threes. They had 3 hoods. One of them is now a pipe. And then
no, Sadoy. Oh, they want Misha. Like, Diffusal comes out here. Alpha Ninja will be able to get the kill. X comes out with the Torn. I'm not sure if they're going to try to turn this around. Yeah, there's the Terrorblade, but he gets Chrono. This is his turn to get taken down. There it goes. I thought I heard a taunt coming out here. Looks like Arzi barely going to be able to run himself back. They turn around. Needs to be a little bit careful just because of the Radiance burn coming out from the Necrophos. Dunk comes out as well. We'll be able to use an Enchant Totem and a Fissure, followed up here with the Skywrath Mage. But this is a beautiful epicenter coming out from Yoki. We'll be able to take down the Earthshaker, but at the same time, he just doesn't have the backup from his team. The Yules comes out here. They really want to get him. Diffusal comes out as well. Juking around in the trees. He's trying. Oh, they still managed to throw out that arrow, but they don't see him. The nuke just a little bit too late. Yoki. This is the Sand King that just wasn't going to die. Finally took the mighty Alpha Ninja to get the last hit there. But did you see everything in the kitchen sink thrown at him? My goodness.
Yeah, that was a tanky Sand King, and like just so mobile. Like, he almost lived there too. He had 1 second left on Sandstorm, and I think he lives if he gets that off. But then Time Dilation came out and delayed the cooldown, so he does end up dying. But that was a really good fight for Effect.
Well, think how long they chased after him, though. Like, that's so much time that they could have been trying to take, like, bottom tower or something, like just chasing the Sand King around the map.
Yeah, no, it's great for Spartak that he lives as long as he does, but it's really good for Effect that they got like a complete team wipe. And that solo Chrono on the Terrorblade was absolutely key. Sadoy is showing, you know what? I might have had a rough game, but now it's my turn to dish out some punishment.
And he's still, all right, he's going for the Blink Dagger next here, looks like. So he'll be able to do even better engagements. But interesting to note, too, for the longest time, we were seeing that Terrorblade, top of the net worth, he's actually been ousted now by the Mirana. Alpha Ninja is actually at 18, actually. 18k net worth, 17 on the Terrorblade. And Zeus is starting to creep up there now, too, because he's at 13, so he's in 4th place.
I mean, the Mirana's 11-2. She might have had a rougher early game for sure, but she has recovered very well with that.
Well, no, she's been on the top of the net worth on the side of Effect, like the entire time. She's been the highest in terms of net worth, but she finally overtook and really closed the gap over on this Terrorblade. Like, they're neck and neck now, which is something definitely that Effect needed. Sadoy still not in the top 5 for net worth, which is a bit unfortunate here, but we do see, oh, Misha will be the one who breaks the smoke. They back themselves off. Oh, the Yoki coming in though with a beautiful, just running in there. Oh, the follow-up with the Nimbus. This is looking really, really scary. Oh no, he does the Chrono, but he doesn't catch anyone in it. However, he will get himself an ice cream cone. Can they get the kill over here onto Necro? Necro lands the Scythe. He's actually still alive here. And on this back end, we see the BKB coming out from Terrorblade. They do take down Sadoy, and now the BKB is all over from Alpha Ninja. He's trying to juke himself around the trees. They have dust. You have dust. Why didn't you pop it, dude? Arrow coming in. We'll try to go for reinitiation. There's the jump forward again coming out from King R. He's got the Lotus on him, but it doesn't matter. The Skywrath Mage will take it on the chin.
Man, what a chaotic fight.
It's still going, too. They, it almost felt like an afterthought there for a second. They'll be able to use up the Terrorblade, though. He doesn't have his BKB. He already used it in this fight. He's going to get stun locked. They use a dunk on him as well. This Mirana.
They did not want the
During all that, though, they lose their top racks.
I mean, it sucks because you lose the range racks, so that's a full lane down now, but losing the melee, it's almost inevitable that that's going to happen. The lane's constantly going to be pushing into any protracted fight. That's going to happen, so it's really unfortunate, but because range racks don't regen, it's kind of one of those things that's not a question of if, but when that happens. But Effect in these last few team fights have been absolutely impressive. Just the fact that they can play like this from behind, and they're closing that net worth gap. It was almost like a 5k net worth lead at one point. It's closing in now on 1k, and those towers are still up. That tower gold, that tower advantage that Spartak has is gonna swing back really quickly once Effect can start pushing.
Yoki? Yeah, they use the Chronosphere. They've had enough of the Sand King. Arzeek actually going to be able to secure himself the kill.
It's really funny to me that Sadoy has just like resigned himself to being the initiator. He's got the Blink Dagger, BKB, Mask of Madness, like you said earlier, kind of like that off-lane Void build. But it's working out for them, and it's really unfortunate when you have that position one that has to kind of build like this. But you adapt. This is Dota. You got to adapt. And
yeah, they don't have Chronosphere. This could be a good time to get a fight. In fact, they land an arrow over here onto the Kunkka. Sadoy's coming in on the action. He wants to get this kill as well. Chases after the... Oh, they don't get the last hit. They almost close the gap on him. Misha thanking his lucky stars.
But now with that tower going down...
What is happening? This game is...
Swings back. And now they don't have Sinking, they don't have Kunkka, they don't have their good team fight. Terrorblade's on the other side of the map, just farming Ancients.
Like, this was going to be such a good time, I feel like, for Spartak to go forward because, you know, they know that there's no Chronosphere. But unfortunately, it just, the arrow getting caught to the face coming out from Kunkka, like, ruined all of their plans there.
Well, not only that, but even without Chronosphere, you look at who they picked off with the Chronosphere, it's Yoki. It's their initiator.
The main initiator.
It's the guy who starts the fights for Spartak. How do you start a fight as Spartak without Yoki? Do you just run up at someone and X marks them? They just run away. You can't Reapers them. The best you got for mobility is a Force Staff. So without Yoki, they can't start team fights. And now, that net worth lead is actually in favor of Effect.
Looks like we do have a pause coming out here. So, you know how I was so worried about Misha early on? Misha's doing pretty okay for himself now. Not only does he have the arcane boots, he's got a glimmer cape, he's got a windlace, and of course, you know, the regular support items of a observer and sentry, and of course, dust of appearance. Also, this is when you know you've made it big as a support, when you can afford a full wand and not just a stick. Good for you there, Misha. On the other hand, we are looking at our Skywrath Mage on the side of Effect here. Very similar, although he does have a buckler pickup and the urn, so he's been doing just a little bit better, obviously. But it's as a support player, it's nice to see, you know, supports actually getting items, especially 40 minutes in.
Yeah, he's got the Solar Crest queued up now. Pretty interesting for a Skywrath Mage, but you know what? Honestly, not a bad pick. It's nice armor, it's nice evasion against the Terrorblade, and it's another wave to enable the Void, who's had that rough game, right? You throw Solar Crest on somebody, it's more damage now for your Void in that Chronosphere. So I like this. I like the teamwork and the camaraderie coming out from Effect. Saying, you know what, Yoki? Or sorry, not Yoki. You know what, Sadoy? It's okay. We know you've had a rough game. You're building an Ags now because you just need to pump out Chronospheres. We're gonna help you out.
Oh, that's a feels bad, man. But I mean, if it works, at the end of the day, all that matters is if you win the game, right?
That's
You
it.
do what you gotta do. Sometimes, you know, you have to pick terrible, disgusting heroes like Necrophos, and sometimes you have to take your safe lane Void and turn him into more of the off-lane Chrono Initiator starter.
And this is
That's
a
a
build
technical
that I
name, by the
haven't
way.
seen in a really long time, but I actually really like this build. The Ags, Blink Dagger, Void. We saw Blink Dagger fall off a lot because of the Time Walk cast range talent at level 25, but I actually really like this build because you just the one big downside to Chronosphere is the fact that it's on a like almost 2-minute long cooldown. Like Ags, all of a sudden, you can pretty much fight all the time.
All right, this is so scary. I don't know why they're doing this like this. Like, I'm actually very nervous for them. They didn't get any sort of like pickoff beforehand. They don't really know where anyone is on the map right now. Like, look at Yoki. He's just salivating right now. He's like, oh yeah, get back in that pit. Let me show you the dance of my people.
I almost wonder if it was a bait play. Like they're gonna go. Okay, they put the sentry down. If they didn't put the sentry down, I would have said that was like a nice bait play where they like make it look like they're going into Roche and then they pick off, kind of baiting the nice sentry ward does play its kaput.
Terrorblade hanging out here down the trees realizes that the wind is changing and the Radiant heroes are no longer in that pit. So nice Invisrune actually over here. That could be very helpful for the side of the Dire.
Yeah, I'm curious too. Looking at Terrorblade's items, he's got the butterfly queued up, and I'm wondering why he doesn't go for something like the Scotty. Sometimes you see Terrorblades go heart against heavy magic lineups. You do have a lot of right click coming out from the Mirana. She's actually got the MKB queued up, already kind of predicting this maneuver. And I'm just a little curious as to his reasoning behind going something more evasion heavy and a little bit less stats focused.
BZZ just casually burning all the creeps down as he walks incognito through the forest. Rana's got to realize something's up. She's like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm burning. This is pretty scary. They'll pop the Lincolns down. They'll be able to get the kill. Didn't see that coming, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's a godlike streak, too, so
That's so much gold. Oh, my gosh, actually.
They're going to force the buyback here. You can't let a Terrorblade hit your building for free.
Well, you know, they're splitting it. They've got the meta down here, and he's just going to town on the bottom tier 3. BKB comes out because he's pretty concerned that, you know, oh, I'm going to get dunked. Something's going to happen. Can they get this final kill? There's a nice Chronosphere coming out. They do catch the Terrorblade. They put the Lotus Orb on him as well, but it's not enough. They'll be able to take him down. They take down Misha as well. Now they're on the hunt. They're going to try to get this Necrophos. There's a couple bashes. Oh, Sadoy, he's making up for it now. We'll be able to go for it. They're going to be able to get this kill, though, even though the Yule's throwing mags up into the air. But as this is all happening, there's just creeps everywhere in their base. They've defended from the heroes, but these creeps, don't miscount them here. This is where you run to Roche, too, I think.
Yeah, you force
Yeah,
out
look
the
at them.
buyback
They're
on
like,
the
yep, time to go,
Mirana.
time to go, time to go. Yoki still has Epicenter. I am not sure that's going to be quite enough damage, although if they could throw in maybe a boat, too, they could do something, but...
Afrinage, she's got the triple arrow. It's
that
so
vision it gives is just gross, and it's hard to like dodge around in the middle of team fights. Like it's gonna hit something. Torin comes out. They know they're in that pit. They throw. Oh, they know Yoki was looking for it. They use the dunk just on him. The arrows come in, and they're gonna be able to Mystic Flare him to death. This is go time. Get in that pit.
If they want to fight this, they pretty much have to. Yep.
Yeah, they've got to buy back, but they don't have Epicenter now, do they? No, they do. They still actually have it. They'll be able to take Misha out, though. Maybe? Yeah, the arrow comes in. Oh, homing missile on target.
And now you've balanced out the buybacks in a way because we're... Oh.
There's another buyback, though. They do not want to let them get this here at all. Chronosphere going to be up in another 16 seconds or so. There's a little bit of fighting going on top. Looks like the Lotus Orb coming out here over onto the Kunkka will buy him a little more time. He's got to run himself out by the King R. The blink forward coming out, and there's the Roche. there's the Terrorblade running into the pick. Not going to be able to grab anything here. Although they might be able to get themselves a Skywrath Mage. There's a Diffusal coming out. There's going to be the Mirana ulti, maybe saving him. But during all this, we're seeing the Yule Scepter coming out. Lots of arrows left and right. This is looking so scary for Necrophos here. Glimmer Cape comes out. Do they have the detection? It looks like they don't. But they'll turn themselves around. Will they? Oh, if he can just find King R just a little bit more, they'll be able to burn him down. He guesses forward. He finds him. He gets the Scythe up. And now, oh man, over on the other end, they see that the Chrono gets used, but they'll take down the Ancient Apparition. Sand King has the Lotus Orb. He's going to try to get himself out here. This Necrophos, he's been hunted down left and right. Is he going to be able to actually make it out? He's trying to buy himself some more time. Will be able to go forward up here onto the cliff, use that shrine, blink himself out. How many fights are going on at once during that forge? Because I was trying my best to cover all of them. Oh, they still are chasing after this Necrophos.
I don't know why. Yeah, I was like, I don't know why you're talking like these fights are done. They're still chasing, but now BC is going to make it out. That was like, Effect is doing such a good job controlling Spartak and Z for in these team fights. Just, you know, bringing who they want up here, dragging the rest of the team down through the river. Like, really, really nice team management there. They throw out a, I think that was a scouting Zeus ulti. I don't think that was anything more than that, but just really good work there, and Terrorblade was able to snag up the cheese, so he does have that, but we got 8 just Mirana now, buybacks on cooldown for 2 of your heroes, I believe. Yeah.
Buyback status? Yeah, it looks like only Necrophos and Terrorblade have buyback right now. Some of them have it on cooldown, some of them just don't have enough gold, but that was one heck of a fight, my goodness.
I mean, those are 2 pretty good heroes to have buyback on, to be fair. Necrophos and Terrorblade. But Eggs is complete now for the Void, so every minute he's going to have himself a Chronosphere. And now he's got dreams. He's got dreams of a Diffusal Blade, Moxie.
He's got to have dreams in this game. This game has just been so crazy. It was definitely looking so strong for the side of Spartak, but these fights, you know, as Void actually gets farm, gotta get a lot harder for them right now, especially, you know, because you can diffuse off Ghost Shroud, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
yep,
like
purge.
that's like your protection. You're very dependent on that as Necro, and
yeah,
if you can't do that, you're just bashed to death.
The interesting thing about Spartak, remember I was mentioning earlier they had 2 hoods and a pipe, and earlier they had just 3 hoods. If you look at Kanka, Necrophos, and Sand King, they've got 3 Lotus Orbs on the side of Spartak. They love tripling up on their items.
Magic number is 3 apparently for Spartak. Oh, the arrow! It almost lands onto Yoki. That just like nicked his face there. BKB comes out. They want to get rid of this Necrophos. They will be able to do it despite that beautiful Lotus Orb being thrown on him. Misha is just buying himself a little bit of time, but not going to be able to do it. And during all that, they send the Terrorblade down to the bot lane. He's trying to just do something here. Gets fissured up to be able to go ahead, pop the BKB on Terrorblade. He just wants to get something out of this entire fight. And this Mirana just hitting him left and right. Can he get the Sunder off? He doesn't! Forget about the Lincolns over on the Mirana. Oh my goodness.
They've kind of dedicated their Terrorblade to this kind of rat playstyle, and it's really costing them in these team fights. And I can't really blame them either, because every time he shows up in a team fight, he just gets Chronosphered. But now they're trying to get him to play like this kind of rat game. And Terrorblade, not a super mobile hero like Anti-Mage or Morphling. It doesn't have a free get out of jail free card like Nature's Prophet can. So these rat games are very dangerous for him, and it's costing.
I mean, they've got buyback on the Terrorblade. They've got buyback on the Necrophos. You don't really want to have to use it, but, you know, Mirana, she's got this Aegis. She's ready to go. And it's interesting to note, too, Zeus has jumped now just a little bit further up here in terms of the total net worth. Things are starting to even out finally. Void's still not in the top 5, but you know what? It's working out. They're getting the kills, they're getting the objectives. That's all that's really important. Torrent's going to be thrown out here. Won't connect over onto Alpha Ninja.
I mean,
And that's going to be a Terran Rax.
I mean, if you just look at this, the gold graph, it really tells the story of this game. For the most part, Spartak's really far ahead. They take that Rax's really deep dive in the net worth in their favor. But now, slowly,
going back
these
in.
fights have been adding up.
Now they gotta be careful. They've got creeps in their base. Aegis actually gets reclaimed. They should be able to get the kill, though, over on Tanisha at the very least. But someone's gotta go home. Like, Zeus or someone. Does Zeus have a TP on him? He's got boots to travel. He can go home, but someone's gotta go defend. And this Terrorblade's just kind of... I feel like he doesn't know what to do. He's like, well, I guess I could go into the base, but I'm afraid I'm gonna get murdered there. Or I could try to just, you know, hang out here in the jungle, but I think there are people in here as well, so pretty scary situation for him right now. They do spot out BZZ over here on the Necropost. They use the Zeus ulti for the vision. Arcane Bow coming out. Look at this, like a homing missile out here on the side. Yoki standing nearby will just TP himself out. He doesn't want to deal with this. And that last arrow, though, and during all that, they're able to get a kill over on Kunkka as well. Things are quickly just getting out of hand here for Spartak.
And this is kind of that problem of the early BKB on Terrorblade too, is that he picked it up so early in the game. It's down to 5 seconds now. And we saw even down bottom, it runs out just so quickly. He has to rely on Sunder, but now they've got Lincoln Spheres. Really, really tough.
Lotus Orb coming in handy here for the Sand King, but it doesn't really matter because he's going to get stuck up over here on the side. He's actually cliffed himself, unfortunately. And Sadoi will happily clean up.
Down bottom.
Oh boy, what's happening? Oh, looks like he's trying to see the Rat Terrorblade again. But they just...
I mean, he gets the racks. It's not great that he dies, but he does get the racks. He does force a lot of TPs down bottom.
Yeah, but they're already just... Look at them. Marana's already running back. She's like, okay, all right, time to go hit the buildings.
She's got a Scotty.
Yeah, Spartak. They call GG.
GG call? They can't deal with this. Right-click Marana.
The game unfortunately just seemed to get away from Spartak, and looks like Effect, you know? They held on to the very end. You knew that this Void was having a terrible time in lane. He had to alter his build. Things were not going right for him, but in the end, they made it work. So, awesome job here going out to Effect. GG to Spartak. And this is the best of 3 series, guys, so we will be back with game number 2. Stick around.